So you've likely heard the term special victims. You've heard it on TV, you've read it in the newspaper, or perhaps you know someone personally who has suffered as one. Crimes perpetrated on special victims, sexual assault, domestic violence, and child abuse, happen more often than we'd ever like to believe. 1 in 3 women report being physically or sexually abused by a husband or boyfriend at some point in their lives. Every 2 minutes in the United States, someone is sexually assaulted. And more than 5 children die every day in this country as a result of child abuse and neglect. And up to 15 million children witness domestic violence in their homes each year. Compounding the brutality of these crimes, special victims are often re-victimized through the process of trying to bring those responsible to justice. I'm Mariska Hargitay, and responding to the unique needs of special victims is not only a role that I play on TV, but it's also an important part of my life off camera. Through my organization, the Joyful Heart Foundation, I have witnessed the challenges that special victims face and seen the pain that they experience as they relive deeply traumatizing events during the legal process following a crime. Now, I've also been privileged to observe the triumphs of courageous spirits as they heal and seek justice. I'm very pleased to report that there is a beacon of hope and progress, a model of compassion in action. Rockland County, New York, a community just 25 miles from Manhattan, has developed an innovative system of comprehensive support that brings an end to the re-victimization of survivors during the legal process. The Spirit of Rockland Special Victims Center is a testament to the professionals who created it, the staff who sustain it, and the community that offered so much vital support. And it is my great hope that the Spirit of Rockland will serve as an example for communities everywhere.
Every day, men and women, young and old, are subject to crimes that set them apart from normal victims. These people are considered special victims, and along with their special circumstances come special needs. Whether it be for evidence collection, testimony, or simply dealing with the emotional trauma associated with the crimes that they are victims to. In most cases across the U.S., these needs for special victims are not being addressed in the right way. But here in Rockland County, the DA's office and its partners have taken the steps to set an example for special victims units across the country.
The Special Victims Unit is one of the busiest units in our office. We are constantly seeing new cases, working with police departments on investigations.
We provide services to approximately 1,500 survivors of domestic abuse, sexual assault, and other crimes of violence per year.
You can actually be a special victim in one of 2 ways. It can be because of who you are, such as a child or an elderly person, or you can be a special victim because of what happened to you. A sexual assault victim, a domestic violence victim.
While prosecutors have always known that special victims have more needs than the victims of other crimes, all across the country they have lacked the resources to effectively meet those needs. Rockland County was among the first to confront this issue.
In the past, special victims cases were processed like any victims cases, and that was really what led to the problem.
You can't really treat them like someone whose house was burglarized.
Many times the victims wonder why them, what happened to them, did they do something to become a victim?
Special victims reported after the case was over, feeling more victimized in the process often than they were during the crime itself.
A victim of a crime would go to a police station in one part of the county, be transported to a hospital in another part of the county, then to a social service agencies in various other parts of the county, then to the courthouse in the middle of the county.
They estimated that the typical victim would oftentimes have to speak to 15 people before the case ever even proceeded to a grand jury presentation. And it made for ineffective prosecutions, and it badly damaged, in many cases, the victims.
We found out that if we can keep our victims strong and together, it keeps our prosecutions strong and together, because we want to keep offenders accountable for the crimes that they've committed.
The first avenue was to identify a location. We knew the county couldn't afford to go out and buy a building, so we approached Good Samaritan Hospital.
Tom Zugaby was very, very much behind the need and said, if we're going to do something for children who are victims of sexual abuse, I really want it to be something that is for all victims.
During the course of that meeting, it turned out that they had a larger facility available.
And they agreed to relinquish that use and turn it over to our use exclusively to be developed into a special victims center.
Having a location donated to the Rockland County DA was a huge step in the right direction, but securing the finances from the county to transform an empty warehouse into a functioning special victims center was impossible. The next step was to look to the people and the businesses of Rockland County for support.
So we started with a warehouse that was basically had nothing operating within it. We then turned to the contractors, we turned to the unions, we turned to every volunteer we could turn to, and to everybody and anybody. And the most telling part of it was the fact that nobody ever said no when presented with the issue.
Oh, this looks great. Every step of the way it's going to get better and better, but I love when I see color on the wall.
The community just gave and gave. It was wonderful to see. We had people that donated the windows. We had the air conditioning units donated.
From the largest donations to the smallest donations, the people of Rockland County stepped up and showed their support for the center and the victims it would service.
While they're resistant to pay tax dollars just to see money spent by the government, they're more than willing to lend both their money and their brawn into building something like this.
It was a real testament to the people of Rockland County, and it makes me very proud to be a Rocklander. I want to welcome you all to the grand opening of the Spirit of Rockland Special Victims Center, and it really is a great day for Rockland County.
The dedication of the Rockland County DA's office, the Department of Social Services, the Department of Mental Health, Good Samaritan Hospital, Rockland County Police Chiefs Association, and the Rockland Family Shelter. The Spirit of Rockland Special Victims Center has finally become a reality. It is a physical testament to the dedication of Rockland County to their support of special victims, a functioning solution to an age-old problem.
We have now combined our efforts in that one building, the Special Victims Center, where we've taken the multidisciplinary team, which has worked for many years, and we've made them work more effectively.
This approach brings all of those players, all of the stakeholders together as a team, and the team works collaboratively so that the victim may speak to one person or two people before the matter is completed.
And the fact that we're all co-located or constantly in contact with one another really helps us to enhance prosecutions in that way.
There's nothing clinical about it, nothing institutional about it. It's very welcoming and friendly. All of those things really help children feel comfortable.
Children would be sent to New York City where they could sit in the emergency room for up to 20 hours waiting to be processed. We're available now at the center here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
It's not a good thing that people are victimized, but it's a good thing when they are victimized, and that is somewhere to go to get the best treatment possible.
We also have working at the center, Lily, and Lily is our certified therapy dog. And Lily's job is basically to be a comfort to the people that come through our doors.
The concept behind the therapy dog is that people that are tense for different situations need to relax. And it's been proven that people react positively to the dog.
Trauma to the victims is further reduced by the implementation of advanced technologies within the center.
One of the wonderful things about the center is we have great technology here. And what happens is if a child comes in and is interviewed and the child is less than 12, they do not have to appear before the grand jury. New York state law says that they can be videotaped, and the videotape is then shown to the grand jury, which is obviously much less traumatic and stressful for the child. So we really are, I think, state-of-the-art when it comes to our technology.
People are asked to prepare to testify about one of probably the most horrific things that's ever happened to them. If our victims can't get through the prosecution, then we can't hold people accountable for their crime.
Through the combination of co-located departments, a peaceful atmosphere, advanced technologies, and of course, Lily, The spirit of Rockland County Special Victims Center has everything a special victim needs to stay strong and supported throughout the legal process. It is because of that strength and support that the Rockland County DA is now able to prosecute cases more efficiently than ever before.
It was a Saturday during the day, and we got a call at a local store that told us that a 8-year-old girl was pulled into the bathroom by an unknown suspect. We happened to get down there to the store. The suspect was already being held by the store employees. Within a matter of minutes, the center was available. We came up here, the interviews were done, it was recorded, and everything went very, very smoothly.
For me, and I think for the other folks involved as well, it's a dream come true to meet a very, very unmet need in the county.
We can't change what's happened to them, but we can make sure that they have all they need to go forward.
It's called the Spirit of Rockland because that's what this is all about.
With the creation of the Spirit of Rockland Special Victims Center, Rockland County has truly set the standard for how special victims should be cared for, as well as the standard for how their cases should be prosecuted. While it may be true that nothing can totally mend the damage that had been done through these crimes, it is certainly true that special victims of Rockland County now have access to the best possible services at one location, and none of it would have been possible save for the giving spirit of the people and businesses of Rockland County.
So what an incredible thing to see people put their best thinking forward to help survivors recover and heal. Our mission at the Joyful Heart Foundation is to heal, educate, and empower survivors of sexual assault, domestic violence, and child abuse, and to shed light into the darkness that surrounds these issues. The Spirit of Rockland Special Victims Center can inspire all of us to do more, to work more, and to hope for more. As Detective Lieutenant Mary Murphy stated, we can't change what's happened to them, but we can make sure that they have everything they need to move forward. I'm Mariska Hargitay, and in the spirit of healing, I thank you for watching.